Welcome to our very latest playoff episode of Game Time. Good to have you with us from our Atlanta studio. I'm Matt Weiner, Greg Anthony, David Griffin right there. Highlights of all three Game 2s in this half hour. We'll start out west with the Pelicans are poised to take up the Trailblazers after a pair of road wins. Pels built big lead and held on to win Game 1 by just a deuce. The Blazers on a 7-game postseason losing streak. Ooh. To split the first two. Drew Holiday, so good late, offensively and defensively in Game 1. 12 points in the first quarter of this one.
Yeah, he came out picking up right where he left off in Game 1. Aggressive on the offensive end.
A flyby on Yusuf Nurkic. Holiday with a floater as he works his way into the paint. Blazers, all hands on deck. Season on the line. Ed Davis dives for the rim, throws it home.
Davis's mobility in the pick and roll is something you may see more of as they head to Game 3 as well.
Al-Farouq Aminu knocked down 4 threes. He had 14. And then C.J. McCollum, step back 3. He had 22 on the night. Portland up by 5 at halftime, third quarter. Anthony Davis. Oh, yeah, him.
Yeah, he continues to have his way with the Blazers front line. He has just been dynamic these first 2 games.
Davis knocks down his only 3 of the night. He was 9 of 18 overall.
Oh! It's a good play. They should run that more often.
Yes, that's high percentage. He had 22 and 13, 11 of those 22 in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, McCollum pushing it. Pull-up jumper goes. He and Damian Lillard combined for 39, but on 39 shots, Lillard had 17 on the night. We're tied at 93.
And hard to imagine very many of his shots were tougher than that one.
Holiday muscles his way in there, shows the strength and the touch. Then Holiday, pull up 3. Got the mismatch with Zach Collins on him and knocked it down. Pelicans up 105-100. New Orleans moving it. Rajon Rondo wide open in the corner. He'd only hit 53s in the regular season. Biggest shot of the game that put it away. Rondo had 16, 10 boards, 9 assists. The Pelicans close it out on an 11-2 run, and they have won 7 in a row going back to the regular season. 22 of 30 if you want to go all the way back to February. Blazers have now dropped 8 straight playoff games. Holiday with a postseason career-high 33 to send the series back to New Orleans.
I'm not surprised. I worked hard for this, honestly. Off season when nobody's looking, and really just to be able to go out there and play again is a blessing. I've been battling injuries, and to be out there and to play, that's what I train for. So as well as that, man, my teammates give me so much confidence. I don't think you guys understand how positive of a group we have in our locker room. You guys can probably see it out there on the court. Always talking to each other, especially when a team like Portland goes on a win streak. So they start to come back on us. But just to be able to have positive teammates and definitely helps me out.
Just a little bit frustrated. Just expecting more out of myself. Coming into the playoffs, teams going to lock in and they're going to try to make the game hard for you. And I give a lot of credit to them for, executing their game plan, seeing 2 and 3 guys, and making the game difficult, but the opportunities that I do get, I just got to be better. I think it's as simple as that. But I'm fine mentally. It's just frustrating to, fight an entire season for home court and then come out and not perform individually or as a team in the first 2 games of a playoff series. So, we just got to move on to the next one.
That Blazers backcourt kind of has the reputation, certainly one of the top backcourts in the league, but they're being met point for point by Rajon Rondo and Drew Holiday so far, who are also scoring much more efficiently and playmaking at a much higher rate so far. We keep hearing playoff Rondo, playoff Rajon Rondo. What is it about this player at this time of the year?
Well, listen, it does matter that he was on some terrific Boston Celtics teams and has won a championship and understands what it means, the magnitude of the moment. And you know what? He's doing things that he's always done from the standpoint of a facilitator and a rebounder. He's always been terrific at that point guard position with that. But the extra added element I think he's brought here is the leadership and then also his scoring. You know, he's starting to make shots. He's now not as one-dimensional, putting more pressure on opposing defenses. And, you know, I think he's also having a lot of fun. You know, he was on this path a season ago with Chicago, you know, before the hand injury. So for him to kind of get another opportunity and to be playing with the kind of talent he's playing with Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday, I'm happy for him because he's got to be having a lot of fun in the moment.
Yeah, for folks who forgot, remember, with the Bulls, they were up 2-0 thanks to 2 road wins against Boston before he got hurt. If he doesn't, who knows what happens there. And for Holiday, what kind of an impact has he had on this series so far?
Well, I think Rondo's impact upon Holiday is a big thing as well. You know, if you look at what they've done since basically after the All-Star break moving forward, Rondo's been on the floor a lot more, and he's been able to take a lot of the decision-making off of Drew's plate. And Drew's able to just continue to be aggressive, look to score. He has the energy now to continue to defend. When he was having to really run the team and be more mindful of his possessions, they weren't getting the full bandwidth of Drew Holiday. Now that pairing has really unleashed Drew to do what Drew does best, and that's attack. And I think what Portland has now seen is that's an animal they weren't familiar with during the regular season.
Yeah. We spent 0 time talking about Anthony Davis during this segment. 0 points in the fourth quarter for Davis, and that is a huge development for the Pelicans to win on the road that way. They'll do it again on Thursday, Game 3 in New Orleans. And on the way here, the Raptors are clearing all kinds of playoff thresholds these days. How they got to an unprecedented postseason position Tuesday next.